Welcome to another little tale, hopefully it may entertain you. Without further ado, let's get started. Long before iron cities and electric light, when forests whispered in languages people still half understood, a pact was forged between humankind and the Fae. It was not written in ink, nor carved in stone, but spoken beneath a silver moon, binding in a way deeper than law. The Fae, ancient and luminous, promised protection. In return, humankind offered kindness, shelter in winter, bowls of cream on windowsills, and, most importantly, belief. And for a time, the balance held. Until the Dark Lord came. The curse of roses. He was not a creature of simple malice, but of calculation. Where the Fae nurtured, he twisted. Where humans trusted, he sowed quiet ruin. His curse was subtle, not fire, not plague, not war. Roses. Let them love beauty, he had whispered into the roots of the first cursed bloom. Let them pay for it. From that moment on, roses became irresistible. Women found them impossibly beautiful, more radiant than any other flower, stirring something deep and wordless in the heart. Men, meanwhile, felt a pull they could not explain. At least once in every relationship, on a birthday, a celebration, or even an ordinary day, they had to buy roses. Not out of obligation, not out of thoughtfulness, but compulsion. A small act. A harmless gesture. But the curse fed on repetition, on expectation, on the quiet strain of invisible pressure. It grew, century by century, threading itself into human custom until no one remembered a time before it. No one but the Fae. The court of thorns and light. Deep beneath an ancient hill, in a court lit by bioluminescent blossoms and drifting motes of gold, the Fae King sat upon his throne of woven branches and moonlight. His name had been forgotten by humans long ago. Among his own, he was simply the keeper of promises. Before him gathered his court, lords and ladies of wind, river, moss, and flame. A murmur rippled through them. At last, one stepped forward. Lady Eowyn, her voice like frost over glass. "My king," she said, bowing her head slightly, "we have honored the pact for over 3,000 years. The humans no longer leave offerings. Many do not even believe we exist." A low murmur of agreement followed. Another voice rose, sharp, impatient. "Lord Thalen, clad in armor of bark and thorn. Why do we continue? They have forgotten us. The pact is one-sided." The king did not answer immediately. His gaze drifted upward, as if seeing beyond the hill, beyond the forest, beyond time itself. "They have not forgotten," he said at last. The court stilled. "They have changed," he continued. "As all living things do. But the promise was not conditional. It was not if they remember, nor if they honor us in return." He leaned forward slightly. "It was a promise. And we are Fae. The weight of a promise." Lady Eowyn stepped closer. "But why does it matter, my king? What power lies in a promise so old that none recall it?" The king's expression softened, not with weakness, but with something deeper. "Because we recall it." A silence fell, heavy and absolute. "In the beginning," he said, "we asked something very small of them. Not gold. Not worship. Only kindness and belief." He gestured, and an image shimmered in the air, a human child placing a small bowl of milk on a windowsill. They gave it freely. The image shifted, villagers leaving bread at the edge of the woods. "They trusted us." The king's voice darkened. And when the Dark Lord cast his curse, they did not even know they had been struck. A ripple of anger moved through the court. Lord Thalen clenched his jaw. Then why not strike back openly? Break the curse in full. Reveal ourselves. "We cannot," the king said simply. "The balance forbids it. The curse is woven into their will. To tear it free would tear them." He raised one hand, and a single drop of water appeared, glowing faintly. "But we found another way. The antidote." The droplet drifted in the air. "Morning dew," Lady Eowyn whispered. The king nodded. "Each night, as the world rests, we gather the essence of the land, the breath of leaves, the cool of darkness, the memory of untouched water. We lace it with our magic and return it to the world as dew." The droplet shimmered brighter. It weakens the curse. Lord Thalen frowned. They do not even know to use it. They do, said the king gently. They just do not know why. Quiet protection. Scenes flickered into view. A woman trimming roses in her garden, her fingers damp with dew. The compulsion loosens. A man hesitating before buying roses, then choosing a different flower, confused but relieved. A couple laughing as they walk through a field in the early morning, brushing against dew-covered grass. The curse does not break all at once, the king explained. It softens. It falters. It loses its hold in moments small enough to go unnoticed. Lady Eowyn watched in silence. They think it is their own choice, she said. Yes. And they will never thank us. The king smiled faintly. They already have. Why the Fae still honor the pact? Lord Thalen stepped forward again. Quieter now. My king, is it truly enough? To protect those who do not know we protect them. The king rose from his throne. When he spoke, his voice carried through every root and stone of the hill. We are not defined by what others remember of us. He walked slowly through the court. We are defined by what we keep. He stopped before them, eyes bright as starlight. If we abandon our promises because they are forgotten, then we become no different from the one who cursed them. A hush fell. That is why we endure, he said. That is why we continue. He lifted his hand again, and countless droplets of glowing dew appeared, spreading outward like a quiet constellation. We protect them not because they ask. Not because they believe. But because we said we would. The world above. Dawn broke over the human world. Golden light spilled across rooftops and fields. On a quiet street, a man paused outside a flower shop. He glanced at the roses in the window, then hesitated. For a moment, something tugged at him, old, insistent. Then a breeze passed, cool, soft, carrying the faintest trace of morning dew. He shook his head, smiled slightly, and walked on. Elsewhere, a woman stepped into her garden. Her bare feet brushed against dew-covered grass, and she felt, though she could not explain it, a sense of calm, of clarity. She looked at her roses. They're not as special as I thought, she murmured. And she turned instead to the wildflowers growing nearby. Beneath the hill, in the Fae court, the king returned to his throne. The glowing dew faded as it rose into the world above. Lady Eowyn bowed her head. I understand now. Lord Thalen followed, slower, but sincere. We will continue, he said. The king inclined his head. As we always have. Above them, unseen and unfelt, the morning dew settled across the world, quiet, patient, and faithful. A promise kept. Even after thousands of years. Even after being forgotten. And somewhere, far beyond sight, the Dark Lord stirred, uneasy. Because though his curse endured, so did the Fae. Thank you for listening to our little tale. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Until next time, as always, be well.